Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Shank's Ranks. I have another 3D Blu-ray review for you here today. Today we have Beowulf in 3D. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to get into some tech specs real quick. So this movie was released in 2007. It is rated PG-13. Runtime is 1 hour and 54 minutes. For audio, we have a crisp 5.1 DTS HD Master audio track. And for the aspect ratio, it's in 2:39 widescreen, so yes, we will have black bars on the top and bottom. Now let's see what some of the critics have to say about it. We have IMDb giving it a 6.3 out of 10, Metacritic giving it a 59%, and Rotten Tomatoes with a 71%. I personally really liked this movie. I enjoyed the animation a lot. If you've ever seen The Polar Express, this is the same type of CGI animation, where most of the characters in the movie look like the actors that are voicing them. We have some pretty big names in here like Anthony Hopkins, John Malkovich, Angelina Jolie, and many others. So let's get into some of the 3D, right? That's what you want to hear. So the opening credits, I was pretty blown away, where it shows the companies that produced the movie, and there's stone slab in the background with the text in the foreground and water dripping over some of the letters. Then the Beowulf title looks like it floats into your screen from the outside. The first scene, I was blown away by so much depth. We have a Viking clan here celebrating their spoils of war, and it looks like someone from the outside of the screen fills this dragon horn with mead, the horn on the front of the screen, followed by multiple layers pushing into the background. Some other notable scenes that showcase some of the really awesome depth in the movie are this scene where this raven picks up this rat, and it's just kind of flying throughout the night sky, and the rat, as you can see, is very blurry in this image, and it really looks like it's popping out of your screen. Nothing that comes out into your eyes, mind you, but it's more like it's maybe about an inch or so outside of your TV screen. There is another part that showcases some really good pop-out effects. Same scene in the beginning where the king reaches into his chest of gold and throws it out to his subjects, and as you can see, it really kind of dances off onto the table here while everything in the background kind of stretches in. Another really notable scene was when Beowulf and his crew arrive in Denmark, and they're pulling the longship onto shore, and they're greeted by one of the king's guardsmen who points his spear out at them. And as you can see in this picture, it's very blurry, and it looks like it comes about halfway into the middle of your living room. This was probably the best scene in the movie showcasing pop-out effects, but there are some other pop-out effects throughout the movie that are really good as well, even if they are a little bit subtle. Like we have this scene here where this wolf snout is kind of popping off of the screen, and we have this other scene here where the riders of Beowulf's clan are going back to their kingdom, and there's a lot of depth here, but the snowfall seems to be popping off the screen a little bit. Nothing that really comes into the middle of your living room, like I said. It's more on the outside of your screen, like about an inch out of your screen. But it is really nice, and it showcases some pretty awesome depth. For the picture quality of this movie, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one 3.8 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the animation. Some of the images in this movie showcased some brilliant texture detail along with some really good lighting. But there were some scenes, particularly where they're in their mead hall, or in, the king's longhouse, I think that's what they call them, where the lighting was a bit dark and it took away from some of the three-dimensional depth at some scenes. But for the most part, it was really solid throughout the whole movie. For the depth, I'm going to go ahead and give this one 5 out of 5 stars. It was just amazing from beginning to end. There were a couple scenes, like I said, where the picture quality was a little dark and it kind of watered it down, but I could probably count maybe 3 scenes that were like that, and it didn't really last very long. But overall, I was impressed with the depth. Throughout the whole movie, I would take off my glasses and you would see that the image was so blurry, and most of the time, the image really stretched into the screen, into the background, and that's the type of depth that I like to see, where it really looks like you could just reach in and grab one of the objects that's layered. For pop-out effects, I'm giving this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was subtle for the most part, but it was done very nicely, and every time it did come out, it showcased the depth even better than before. So the pop-outs in this one, they weren't the gimmicky kind for the most part, but they really did enhance the overall quality of the depth. And like I said, we had that really awesome scene where that spear was just protruding halfway into your living room. So I'd say 3.5 out of 5 stars is a pretty objective opinion for this one. Ultimately, I would say I put this one in B tier. Like I said, the picture quality was amazing. It really looked very realistic. There were times when I forgot that I was watching a CGI animated movie. And the pop-out effects were decent as well. The depth was perfect, 5 out of 5. So yeah, I'd say my objective opinion would be B tier for this one. Do I think it's worth buying? Actually, yes I do. I bought mine off of Amazon for about $30, which is a lot less than I thought it was going to be. And this is, I believe, a Chinese or a Japanese import. I got it off Amazon USA, so you can get it shipped to you if you're living here in the United States. And it wasn't crazy expensive. I'll leave the link in the description, and you could check it out and decide if it's something that you think you should get. But as a 3D enthusiast, I'd say this is a must-have for your collection. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I look forward to doing another review for you. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing, and have a great day.
I've got it!